Pridda, do you reckon that you'll attract the main tag, or do you think you're hoping it's Daniel Kerr on the weekend?
Yeah, Daniel Kerr. I think he's the best player in our team in the midfield. Luke Shuey's been in great form this year too. So whoever it is, they'll have a role to play in the team, and they'll do that well.
When Kerr comes into the team, does it take a bit of the heat off you? Do you feel a bit more comfortable that you're not the only one? You said Shuey, but you do get a lot of the focus when he's not there.
I think that's been the strength of our playing group this year, that we've had really good depth in the midfield. So we mentioned Kerr and Shuey, but Scotty Selwood's been fantastic. He's played a role for the team, but we all know that on any given day that we've just got to play our role and make sure that's the best thing for the team.
Do you enjoy the challenge of coming up against Geelong's midfield?
Absolutely. I think AFL football every single week is a great challenge, and this week, is another one. It's just a lot more on the line. Geelong have shown that they've been one of the best teams for the last 5 years, and their midfield has been one of their strengths. So, like it's been all year, a super challenge.
Would it be a dream come true? Still a question to make a grand final.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's every boy's dream as a kid. You run around kicking the footy, dreaming of that. So, we know we've got a big job ahead of us, and we're looking forward to that.
And Coxie, you've worked pretty closely with him this year, and he's up for All-Australian honours as well. How have you seen his season, and do you think he's certainly...
Yeah, I think he's been the premier ruckman for the competition this year. We're very lucky to have both Dean and Nick, who they give us first use at the stoppages. But having Dean fully fit, I think he covers the ground better than any other big man, and he's had a super year, and I've got no doubt that he'll be in the All-Australian side.
Just on that All-Australian, knowing you'd be thinking it's just great to be included with Sam Mitchell and Juddy and the rest of them. Whereas really you are with those guys now, you're in that group, but knowing you probably don't accept that, do you?
Yeah, I probably don't see myself at that level yet, but like I say, it is a huge honour to be in the 40. But like you're saying, there's some pretty good players in there, and it is an honour to be in the 40.
Do you think this is the best year individually that you've had in your couple of years in the AFL?
Yeah, I think so. But that comes with the team having great success this year too. So I know I've got a great challenge every single week, but it's not just your opponent, but it's also making sure that you're keeping your spot in the team. So that's what's driving me. We've got some great young kids playing in the Waffle who have had great seasons. So, we're looking for constant improvement for every player in the squad, and I think that's what drives us to make sure we're getting the best out of ourselves.
So you actually still think that you may not get picked, that you are fighting for your spot in the side?
I think most players, you've got to think like that. Woosh is always driving for constant improvement and making sure we're getting the best out of ourselves, and I think our depth this year is really part of the reason that we've gone forward so quickly. We've got guys playing really good footy in the Waffle, and you've got to perform every single week, otherwise your spot in the side is in jeopardy.
It's amazing, because there's no way Judge would be thinking that, or Swan or Pendlebury or any of those, and that's where you're at. I guess that's part of your secret to your success, is it?
Well, I think so, but I think they're at a different level again. So every player will have different opinions, and I am realistic with where I'm at.
How much better can your on-field relationship with Nick Nat-Nui get? It seems that every time he touches the ball, you're always there, and it's been on display in the past few weeks. Can it get any more better than that? Yeah,
I think Scotty Burns has done a lot of work with the whole midfield group for the last couple of years now. It's really starting to come to fruition. Nick is a super talent, and his last month of footy has been fantastic. He's really stepped up with the big games, and he gives some of the use that he gives to our midfielders is as good as it gets. So we've got to make sure we're making the most of it. Teams will do a lot of homework into where he's hitting it and so forth, but we've got to make the most of his hits.
What are some of the differences between working with Cox and Nat Nui? Do they have does Cox tip the ball higher than Nick Nat, or vice versa, or?
Coxie's starting on the bench now, so Nick's number one, but which is good to see. But they're two very different players. They're probably 1 and 2 in the competition for their positions, but Nick's just a super talent with his leap, and then Dean's got the athleticism to cover the ground like a midfielder. So we're very lucky to have both of them in our team, and they bring different strengths to the side.
Where do you rate the Geelong midfield in the competition?
Definitely 1 or 2. You know, they've got some really strong bodies in there, a lot of experience and a lot of skills. So, it's a great challenge for us. You know, we'll be playing on guys who, you know, we've watched for a long time. They've had the ultimate success, and we're just really looking forward to this challenge.
I think you've only played 2 finals before this year. Has that been a frustration for you, having to sit and watch September?
It's what you train so hard for. You want to play in finals footy, test yourself out in the one-on-one contests that finals bring. It's just another level again. I think the weekend's game was one of the best contests that I've played in, and it was purely because of just the one-on-one tight contest, and it's what every player gets themselves as fit and as strong as they can to play in those games.
Were you amazed at what Scott Selwood was able to do to Chris Judd? And could he do the same with Joel Selwood?
It doesn't surprise me. If you saw how hard that guy works, you'd just be amazed. He's one of the most mentally tough characters I've come across. He just works extremely hard in his game. He gets himself as fit and as strong as he can, and it's to play on the best players in the competition. So he's been ready for this for a long time, and I've got no doubt whoever he plays on this weekend that he'll do a very good job.
And is it hard not to think that if you win this game, you're in a grand final? Do you use that as a motivation, or do you try and block out the fact that the reward is the grand final?
Yeah, I think you'd block it out as much as you can. I think it'll come to your thoughts every now and then, because it's pretty big. The grand final's everything you want, but definitely you've got to get through an opponent like Geelong. So that's your sole focus. We'll get just a normal week like we have all year, and prepare for this game like any other game.
There's probably a few fans having an argument about the cost of another trip to Melbourne to see you blokes play. What would your message be to the ones that are thinking about it?
Just make the most of the opportunity, just like the players. There's no guarantee for next year, so we're looking forward to just this opportunity, and we'll try and make the most of it.
Do you reckon there'll be much humour between Scotty, Adam and Joel, or do you reckon it'll be a serious hit?
Yeah, I've probably got the best seat in the house to see Joel and Scotty go at it, so they probably haven't played on each other yet, as close as they'll get on Saturday Arvo, but two strong competitive boys who they've probably done it in the backyard 1,000 times, so there's a bit more on the end of it this week.
Can you love Subiaco get the better of Claremont in the grand final on Sunday?
Yeah, they've done it a few times against Claremont, so it'd be nice to see them do it again.
Are you going to the stand over tonight?
Yes, I'll be along. Yep.
Got a tip?
Yeah, I think Lukey Blackwell, he was pretty close last year, and he's had another super year. Claremont have been the dominant team this year, so I think it'll be someone from them, yeah, so Lukey.
How much does the stand over mean to you? I mean, now being on the AFL stage, so a special night and a special honour? Yeah,
it's definitely a huge honour being a WA boy and coming up and through the system, and then getting that award is something that I'll cherish for a long time, well, for the rest of my life. It's like you're saying, there's some big WA names who have won that, so to be a part of that list is huge.